I've never had a watch on my wish list for as long as this one. This one has been sitting on my Aliexpress wish list for over 2 years. And it's been on there for 2 years because I was a little bit concerned about the price of this watch. This is not a cheap Aliexpress watch, but it keeps sitting on that wish list. I keep looking at it, and now that I have it in hand, I just keep asking myself the question, why didn't I buy it earlier? Hello, you're watching James. My name's James, you're watching me, and I am talking about watches. Well, yes, this watch has sat on my wish list for a very long time. And it's sat on my wish list for a very long time because it is a $500 Australian watch. And $500 Australian from an AliExpress watch is a lot of money. It's a lot of money for me to spend that amount of money on any watch, let alone an AliExpress watch. However, it stayed on my wish list. I kept coming back to it. I kept looking at it. I kept thinking, wow, I really want to own this watch. And now that I've bought it, I can simply say that I absolutely love it. And I'm so glad that I bought it. So what watch am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about a Hruodland. Yes, it's my second Hruodland in my collection. The other watch is absolutely one of my favorites in my collection. So I had some high expectations of this one, especially since it was almost twice the price of my favorite Hruodland Pilot Turbine watch. But this one is the F008Q, and it is an obvious homage watch. However, it's not quite as obvious as you think. Now, the watch that it is homaging, it's pretty obvious. If you have a look at this one, you look at the picture of it, you'll see the dimensions, you'll see the hands or the case sort of look, and you'll know what it is homaging. But it's not homaging an exact model. What I like about this is that it has all the positives from a looks perspective from the watch that it is homaging, but it's also doing something a little bit different. And it's doing something a little bit different in a really good way. And guys, if you are interested in this one after this first impressions video, I am going to leave one of those affiliate links down below. Now, I understand this is not a particularly cheap watch, so you're not going to probably be jumping on and buying millions of these ones, but it's worth checking it out, especially worth staying tuned for the rest of this first impressions video. So let's flip the camera and let's get into it. So here we have my second Hruodland to enter my collection, and a watch that I've wanted for such a long time but have been a bit nervous about buying, but I don't know why now because I am so happy with it. It comes in one of these little pelican cases, comes with a really nice actually sort of soft feeling card there, strangely enough, and it's actually filled out. A really cool little tool as well, better than the normal ones you get. But of course we are here to buy the watch, and that's what we're here to see today. And today when I opened it up, there were 5 things that really stood out to me quickly. And the first thing was the dial. Check out this dial. It has a nice texture to it. It has this little logo with the anchor there, but it has a fading brown dial from like a dark brown almost to a bronze in the center, which I think is so cool. And it's different from the watch that it is homaging. One of those watches doesn't have this style of dial, so it's giving it a bit of a unique flavor to it. Number 2 is actually the bronze patina that's already developed. Now, this came out of the packaging yesterday. It had that patina already. It's obviously been sitting on the shelf for a while, but I'm actually okay with that because I'm not looking to get a bronze watch to be super shiny. I want the patina, and I think it's going to suit this watch, especially with that dial and then this sort of color strap as well. The number 3 was the end links, because check this out. They're solid end links, but here we have a leather strap. We turn it over and we'll see we can actually take the strap off with these quick release spring bars. And in here, we've got a curved end link, and it's solid, but there's another spring bar in there. So there must be 2 holes there, one for that and one to then add the strap back onto. So you can actually remove that and have it without, but you can have a fitted end link, which I think is super, super cool. The 4th thing that stood out to me is this strap. It's gorgeous. It has a beautiful color to it, stitching all leather. You can see just from the side that it's unsealed, which I actually think suits this watch. 2 layers of leather, absolutely no plastic or anything crap in here, and really, really soft. Now, I admit when I first pulled it out of the packaging, I thought, wow, that's really thick for such a relatively sort of smaller watch. This is a 39mm case diameter, but I've had it about 24 hours now. You can see I've already had it on wrist last night, and I'm actually really okay with it. It's really, really nice. However, the buckle, this is the next thing that stood out to me, the 5th thing that stood out to me. I was really happy that it was bronze, so it matches in with the case. But for some reason, they put one of these rather large sort of buckles on it again. It's nice. I'm going to leave it on there for the moment. I'm going to see whether I sort of get used to it. But as you can see, the sort of the buckle is actually quite big in relation to the size of the watch. I think a smaller buckle would suit this better. Let's see if I sort of get used to it or whether I end up replacing it. for the full review in about 4 to 6 weeks. But all those standout features aside, we've just got a good looking watch. We've got those snowflake hands. They're sort of in that bronze sort of color as well, so it all matches in. We've got sort of a patina inside this chapter ring here. I think it's a ceramic chapter ring. It's also loomed, which is kind of cool. It's 120 click unidirectional. It feels okay. I wouldn't think it feels like a $500 bezel. I think it does not feel quite that good, but it feels okay. And it mostly lines up. I think it's slightly off, which is a little bit of a shame, especially at this price. But you've got a signed crown there with a little anchor. Stainless steel case back there. There's nothing on there, which is fine because you just want that onto your wrist. So I'm pretty happy with that. And we've got a nice watch. Screw down crown, PT 5000 movement, and it's gorgeous. I love the look of this one, and it looks great on wrist too. So here it is in my 6 3/4 or about 17 centimeter wrist. You can see 39 millimeter case diameter. Realistically, I think it's probably actually the perfect size for my wrist. I do tend to wear some larger watches sometimes, but I know whenever I put a watch on like this and this sort of size, I think, yeah, that really is probably the perfect fit for me. And guys, definitely check out this full review of my absolute favorite Hruodland watch. Same brand as this one, but something that I think is very, very special. And also this one here of a Pagani design, which is of the same sort of homage, completely different to this one, but a sort of more affordable variation, and it's a great watch as well.